Hello, 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 everyone. This is Mario Hardy with Eric and Tisha. Hey, y'all say hello.
Hey,
Hello,
So
look,
today we're going to discuss respect in 2023. Does the respect still exist in 2023? What do y'all
yeah,
think? Y'all think respect does it exist anymore?
no.
like, we've lost. We've kind of gotten lost in the sauce on the respect, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me, it's kind of like I guess more people are welcoming more disrespect than they are respect.
Yes.
I mean, like for example, for me, I had this very odd situation. Gave an interview to a couple getting married. Gave them full rundown on what I was going to offer, what I was going to do, in detail. So everything was good up until I got to the music portion of it, and I discussed that in my contract I play nothing but clean music. Well, the couple kind of like I could tell they weren't too thrilled about it, so they didn't really say a lot. And then I was like, when I explained what I could do, I said, well, if there are certain things y'all want to hear, I'll play those certain things. But basically, my reputation is I play nothing but clean music. So okay, so we would finish the presentation, we're good. The very next day, I get an email saying that, well, we had a problem with you only playing just clean music. If we could send you a Spotify list of music that we like to hear that's unedited, would you play it? And I was like, no, because my reputation is built on playing clean music. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't understand that when me as the DJ, if I'm playing the music, they don't know the customer wants me to play this music. They don't understand that
Mhm.
this music is being directed. So a lot of people are going to look at me like, oh, this DJ is so disrespectful because he knows grandma is here. He knows the pastor's still in here and he's playing his music with the F bomb this and the MF this and so forth. And I just said, no, that's the reason why I don't play music because like music that has any cuss words stuff because it's disrespectful and it,
Mhm.
it will offend people. It's like anytime you do something and it's going to offend somebody, it's in a sense it shows disrespect, and that to me is a direct connection to being disrespectful because you never know who's in the crowd, especially if it's family oriented event. So now it's just like people are paying people to be disrespectful. I mean, so it's kind of sad, but that's what it's boiling down to now is that people would prefer to be disrespected versus like be respectful.
And I think it goes. Eric and I both, have been to several of your events, and we can speak to it. I never even noticed that there wasn't any cursing in the songs, like because you mix it so well. Like, why would you want to, like you said, disrespect your grandmother or your grandfather or your pastor if they're there? And I get it. Like, we all get to a level when we feel like we're adults, but even as adults, we have to give respect to other adults. And I just think that I don't know if it went out the window with the winner generation. I don't know what has happened, but that doesn't make sense. There you used to want to have the DJ play the clean version. Like that's just mind-boggling to me. Like you would previously when you would hire a DJ, you would ask them to play the clean version, which
Right.
gets to our point. Have we lost all the respect for each other? And is it universal? Is it an age thing? Because I'm starting to see it even in people 40 plus that are super disrespectful and don't mind someone calling them the B word. It's almost like they use certain things now as a rite of passage that used to be something that was offensive.
Right.
So
I mean, to me, it's like I said, I think it goes back to where back when we were younger, if you were to say the word hell or damn, you would get popped in the mouth
It's
so quick
popping
and
on
so
the mouth.
fast that it's ridiculous. But now it's like you hear F this and MF this and then like what the word SHIT word now is a common thing. Now you would never hear it on public TV back in the days.
mm-mm.
Now,
Now it's out there. So it's kind of like now people just don't have any kind of respect for anybody when it
no.
comes to in a public forum. And it's so normal. It's like it's so normal now to where like I know I did another event and I had to let them know, look, this I can't play this music because there's not a clean version. And so it's kind of like one of those things to where that's one of the reasons why I got to the point where it comes to the point I'm being very picky about who hires me to DJ now, because if you want someone to come out here and be disrespectful and do all kinds of crazy stuff, then I'm not the right DJ. If you're looking for that club DJ that just don't care and they're dropping all kinds of F bombs and MF and just so disrespectful in the music, then that's what I'm saying. I'm not the right DJ for you.
Well, and it's been proven, that certain music entices certain behavior.
Right. Absolutely.
And so that's not just you covering yourself, but covering their event as well, to make sure you don't cut certain music on. Even when it come on in the club, you can see a whole change in the atmosphere, everybody's behavior. So some music does trigger adverse reactions from people. And they do get, whether it be disrespectful with, jumping in each other's personal space. And, so you have to think about, like you said, not just the respect, but the safety,
Right.
So again, so when you're doing your respect and you're wanting someone and you're feeling disrespected in that type of environment. So let's say you get to the wedding and then something happens. I'm just trying to think, because they're still asking once you get there to play disrespectful music. That's
right.
what
It's a younger generational thing, because it's not even like and it's sad to say, even the young kids, like when I'm DJing at the skating rink, they want to hear something. Like one parent, I'll never forget this, had a parent come up and said, "This song is popular with the kids." And so I don't trust nobody when it comes to playing music. So I have to go back and I have to listen to the music just to make sure. And thank God I did, because when I listened to the song, I'm like, this song, it had like at least 8 cuss words in it within the first minute. And I'm sitting thinking, why would make you think that this is an appropriate song to play at a skate when you see all these young kids out here?
Yeah.
And this was a matinee. This is when the families are out there on a matinee. It's not not out there on the night. It's during the day when there's majority more young kids out there. So to me, and it's like, and this was a parent.
And see, the thing of it is you have to, especially if you are a business owner, entrepreneur, you have to command and demand respect, because if you don't, see, it's your name on the line. That's what they're not understanding.
Right,
it's your name on the line. It's your name. So if one person gets offended by the music you were playing, it's Mario's fault. Even though you got a contract that says I'm not supposed to play this, you played it anyway. It's on you. Even though they can come on there and say, we told Mario we will pay him this X dollars more to play this type of music, it's still Mario who's getting ready to get barbecued. Because that you have to. I was telling this today. Judges are gonna always have a job. Why? Because the respect is not there, because people are gonna borrow money, look at you like you crazy, and say it was a gift, no matter how dumb it sounds. No matter how dumb it sounds. And you even see the frustration in the judge's face. It's like, this woman only makes X amount of dollars. Why would she just give you $7,000 as a gift? It don't make sense. Yes, it does. So see, if he respected her, oh no, I ain't gonna say respect her, because in order for him to respect her, he gotta have respect for himself. See, he don't respect himself, which is why he's gonna project that on to somebody else. Which is why that's how I carry myself. I am very respectful to everybody. So when I have to go off, you took me there, and you took me there. There is nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say. And I tell people, I say, you have to know, you have to communicate. You have to also communicate the respect.
Right.
I don't have to argue. Me and Mario can have a disagreement. We don't agree on everything. But it's the respect that we command from each other. I don't agree with that song or that playlist, but you know what? I think this playlist is good, but what if I just do this, and this? Well, you know what? Out of respect for him, you know what? I'll try that. Well, you know what, Eric? I'll try that. You know what, Tisha? I'll try that. You know what, Eric? I'll try that. And see, you have to get in line with the people who have the same, who have the same intentions as you, so they can make you better.
Right.
I want people to be better than me. That means I can learn. Mario tell you, I blow his phone up in a heartbeat, man. This computer, I'm about to shoot it 4 times. I'm about to put bullets in it. Which, hey, man, just do this, and this. And all right, cool. All right, man. Thanks. I can put the gun down now. I ain't got to kill the computer. It's a respect thing. Everybody that I hang around is nothing but respect. And I try to tell young folks again. There's some people our age, but young folks again. Cussing will not get your point across. It'll just get you kicked out of the damn business. That's what it'll do. Because I say, no, listen to me. If you start cussing, that's not part of their duty description. They got every right to put you up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't respect them, they're not gonna respect you. Well, sir, you need to leave. But when you talk to them, you'd be surprised at what you get. You might actually even get something up out the deal. Talk to them. Let them know you upset. Let them know you frustrated. Let them know in a polite way. Show them that vocabulary, that extensive vocabulary you got. They'll be like, well, you know what? Prime example. I'm sitting in here. I'm trying to get a degree, and I'm sitting in there with the counselor. I ain't gonna say the college name. I'm sitting in there with the counselor. She going over. She looking. Oh, you did this. Yeah, you gonna have. Got a problem. I said, what do you mean a problem? He said, well, your English class. I said, what do you mean English class? I said, I cleft English. I maxed it out. Well, we can't take it. I said, why? I didn't fail. She said it's for 5 years ago, so we can't accept it. I said, well, that don't make sense. What do you mean you can't accept it? Now, mind you, I'm upset, but I was talking to her. I said, ma'am, that don't make sense. Can you explain to me why? So she said, well, it's been 5 years and we can't use it. I said, well, that don't make sense. Well, that's just a positive. I said, okay, I got one for you. Do you have a master's degree? I said, you got a master's degree? I sure do. I said, oh, that's good. So when did you get your master's degree? She says, 10 years ago. I looked at her. I said, is your master's degree still good or do you need to be certified? Man, she sat back and she looked at me. She just stared. She said, you know what, Mr. Boston? I got to shake your hand. I never had it broken down to me like that.
Right.
That makes sense. But yeah, if I'd have been in there, hey, be this, you help with that, this, that, and third, get out. And now I can't even go to school.
Yep.
It works. I'm telling you, it works.
Yep. Respect still works.
Respect still works.
But the issue we have is it's not being taught as a working mechanism to communicate with someone else.
Bingo.
Because the thing is, if you even go back to what Mario said about some of his clients, he'll tell them, I might mix a few little songs in here, but we ain't gonna be ratchet all night. Like, you're not gonna be a whole ratchet playlist.
Put on the ratchet machine.
Right. But people don't hear that, because I think the disconnect with the respect is people's lack of comprehension.
Yes.
And so what's happening is people are only hearing and understanding what they can comprehend. They're not comprehending anymore on a level, because if you think about it, we're not reading and
right,
assessing information or processing information the way that we used to. Therefore, people's level of comprehension has changed. So I think it's almost a little bit bigger than just, something cliche as it being taught, because I can teach you all day, but if you don't understand it and comprehend it, then we're wasting each other's time. But it's like mediocre is being like elevated. Like, if you're it's really crazy, because I was thinking about it as you were talking, as you guys were talking. I was like, all of this boils down to comprehension. Like,
it does. And that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to add exactly onto what you're saying, is that now you take a look at it like this. Back when we were growing up, we didn't hear a lot of cursing in public.
Man.
Okay, the only times that we heard something cursing to the extreme was if we heard a Richard Pryor record or or Eddie Murphy.
Or you was at your boy's house and his parents were gone. You ready to watch that Eddie Murphy joint? Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So like I said, those are the only times that we really heard a lot of curse. There wasn't a lot of it. Like, and so now the society is changing. Like, and I actually because I actually had an artist and I asked, why are you cursing in this song? Well, they're trying to bring in more meaning to the song. I said, well, to me, it doesn't bring it's a
takes away from it.
communication barrier for me, because as soon as I hear cursing,
That's it.
I automatically shut down. I automatically block it
right.
out. But that's me. That's my generation. This young generation, I'm gonna say younger, and then even some of the ones our age,
My age, yeah.
they're still like they want to hear that MF this and this and so forth. But see, to me, it's like if I walk in and I hear a DJ playing music and it's a family orientated event, and he or she is playing music and it has a lot of curse words in it, I automatically lose all respect for them, because that there's no you pretty much are lowering your standards as a DJ. I have no respect for you. Now, if you're in a club setting, then it's a difference, because
Right.
it really doesn't, to me. Okay, you have adults in here, so it's more of
Mhm.
a private setting versus you out here and you playing music that's not appropriate. And I think that's what's going on now, is that you got kids out here listening to the songs, and
Well, you got women referencing their mothers, referencing to themselves as bad bees.
right,
Mhm.
I'm telling y'all, the B word when I was growing up was a fighting word. You
Yes.
call a woman,
right,
I mean,
Yes.
we about to
Yes.
take earrings
Yes.
off. You know, we
Yes.
you know what, you call me out my name ain't,
Yep.
all of that. Now, I mean, it's glorified.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you got women actually going around calling themselves bad bees. Like, it is just unimaginable the level, not only that we're being disrespected, but that we tolerate or allow the disrespect, and we think it's cute.
right.
It's even worse on television. You look at these reality shows. Be this, hey, be, hey, all you be.
It's promoted, right? It's promoted.
Bro, no, man, I be flinching. I'm still flinching from when I was a kid when you start hearing them cuss words. Because I'm telling you, a rude awakening for me was that whisper song. What was it? Yin-Yang Twins. I always heard the DJ version, the radio version. And I love that song. Oh, hold on now. I love the DJ version. It was clean. So we was at a club. I ain't gonna say the name of the club. Me and Sel, we was at a club, and they played. I said, "Oh, this is my song." We got ready to dance, and I heard the stuff that what he was saying. Man, I had to throw the church finger. I had to walk about that club. I'm like, what the? What this? That's the what? That's the whistle
Yeah,
song. That's what he meant by the whistle song. I learned a lesson.
I think the reason why I probably don't realize Mario when he DJs is not the cursing version, because I don't really be knowing the words until I know the words, if that makes sense. Like, I'm like, Eric, and then satellite radio, that has been the exposure for me for true lyrics, like what people are really saying, because prior to that, I didn't always know, like what was being said. Yeah.
And like I told Mario from the first time he DJ, that was it. You my friend.
Wait a minute, how we gotta see disrespectful on here now. Got a naked lady up here with her booty out. You see that, Mario?
I see it
in the comments, Eric.
Right. That's why I didn't hit the show button on that one.
No, we hitting disrespect. We talking about respect, and here comes somebody on here already with some disrespect. That's
But that's one of those things that most of the time nowadays you have to ignore a lot of stuff, because just like, for example, and this is going to be one of the ones that's going to really blow people. I mean, this is the major debate, the N-word. Okay. Woo. I mean, it's okay for people to sing it in their lyrics and this and so forth, but God forbid if someone calls you the N-word as a different color. And see, to me, that's you can't have it both ways. I'm sorry, you can't have it both ways. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with our society, is that we want things to be politically correct when it
benefits,
but when we want to be all like whatever, we want to be like down or whatever, hanging out with our friends, oh, in this and in that. I'm like, how can you have one standard and then have a different standard? And so to me, that respect is kind of like respect is like one of those dying words now to where
Mm-hmm.
respect only exists with the older generation. It don't exist no respect at all with this newer generation coming. I'll be honest, I don't even think they know what respect is
No.
I
because
just did a Blake Shelton on the N
Yeah.
word
yeah,
because
yeah,
I have been guilty of that, and I have been course correcting that the last few years because in my family it was always said like saying hello, you know.
And then
Uh,
the problem I always had with it is you want to commit violence on on this person for saying this. You want to cancel somebody for. I mean,
destroy the career. I mean, completely
they
destroy
wanted
the
to
career.
cancel this girl. I think she was in college or something for singing the lyrics of a song that had it in the freaking song. How is that wrong? You want to know how you kill a word? If the word is so bad, you want to know how you kill a word? Stop using it.
Stop using it.
Yeah,
Right.
Stop using it. That's how you take the power away from them. But you
Yep.
cannot tell me that you're going to commit physical violence on this person for a word that you use or he meant disrespectful. What do you mean by when you say it?
Well, I'm gonna flip it for a minute too and say some people's actions have caused us to not show certain respect in certain situations. Like I'll give you an example: the begging people that are on every 2-3 blocks. When you see them, I don't I don't disrespect them, but I don't show any respect anymore and give out my money. So you know the panhandlers or whatever that
Mhm,
are on the
mhm.
road.
right,
So it's so disrespectful now that you not even sure if you can really help people who are saying they need, like, we are just that far twice, 3, 10 times removed that you can't even feel comfortable with the person on the side of the road saying they were disabled, vet, and homeless. You don't even know if that's like we don't even know if that's true. You don't even know if you can show this man enough respect to give him $1 or two. Like we're just it's a thin line for everything because we're starting to live like we're in the wild wild west and anything is going.
right.
Yeah,
And,
it
and
is.
I
that's
mean,
what
It
and that's
is.
and that's what's going because like me, like I said, you take that same scenario and it's kind of like it's like I mean to me that's why I say I have a hard time grasping what goes on in the world today because yeah we can sit here come up with these stupid projects like the Civil War
distraction.
Museum, spend
Mhm.
all this money building a Civil War
And
Museum,
don't
and which means nothing. I'm gonna
Nothing.
be
no.
honest with you. It means nothing. We all know our history. Building a museum to talk about something that we already know is a waste of time. I mean, like, and I get it. Now, there's certain museums.
Millions of
It's
dollars.
like if you want to talk about history, but
Mhm.
that is not important right now. We
Mm-mm.
just, I mean, well, here it is. We just went through it again. I know they approved it before COVID and everything and so forth, but it's like we have money can be utilized for benefit. I was listening to, I went back and I saw the I actually saw the movie, the American Rescue Plan that was done by the Fayetteville PAC, and I sat back and I watched that movie, and
What was the name of it?
it's called American Rescue Plan.
American
And
Rescue
they were
Plan.
showing it for free downtown this past weekend.
Okay.
And I sat back and I watched it just about Fayetteville alone. This is just talking about Fayetteville, our area, and the things that go on that are just neglected. And it's kind of like we sit here and we have all this money to waste and throw away
Mm-hmm.
on petty stuff that doesn't make a difference in anybody's life. Having a civil war is not going to change anybody's
And
life.
then
It might teach a little history, but nowadays you can go YouTube it, and technology is making it easy for you to go see history. But here we have people that are homeless now. I mean, they talked about the ban now where they can't even live in the city because you know why? Because it's going to take away the money. It's all
mhm.
about the money. All these decisions are being based on money, but they're
Yeah,
not being made to take care. It's like there's no respect for human life
this
anymore.
this is something that they that overlook. I'm surprised people still aren't talking about it. Uh, when we were in El Paso, they did what they called as Freedom Crossing. It was a satellite. It was Fort Bliss, and it was uh, Fort Sam Houston, I think it was. And what they did was back then, soldiers, it was about 2010, 2011, soldiers weren't shopping on post because there was nothing there. So they're like, hey, we need to figure out how to get that money back from them. So they did a Freedom Crossing. They had a movie theater. They brought some off post shops in. It was nice. It was nice. So Fort Bragg was next. See, a lot of people realize that it was supposed to start in 2014, but it got halted for whatever reason. You already know money and politics. So COVID happened. So then coming about last year, they got the nerve to say that the Freedom Crossing has been stopped and it's not gonna happen because of COVID and the prices of everything has gone up. And then they said we're just not gonna do it. So I'm sitting here saying this been in the works since 2014. COVID happened in 2020. How is it COVID fault you never broke ground on it? That's not COVID, bro. That's people funneling that money elsewhere and not doing what they're supposed to do with it. And to be honest, that's why so many people are leaving. There is nothing here. There's nowhere to go for your favorite tool, your favorite furniture, your favorite clothes. There's nowhere. Where do you go here to do anything? You see
Well,
here,
I have a better thing with y'all being right by a fort when you talk about disrespect and wasting money.
mm-hmm.
I think it's so wasteful, all this changing the base names and removing all these statues. That stuff has been the way it is. I don't understand why we would waste money. And who is it disrespecting? Because Fort Gordon ain't bothering me. It's been Fort Gordon. We've been calling it Fort Gordon. That's so that's what I mean. Like the respect that we should be pushing for is being obsolete, and then we're getting these initiative pushed for respect that I don't even understand where the stuff is coming from.
It's like you gonna change this joker to Fort Liberty. If you feel like the Confederacy was disrespectful, why now? You should have did something back then. Why now? Why you going? You know how much? What he said it was either 3 million or either 3 million or 30 million. One of them to change the name to Fort Liberty. I'm like, that don't even make sense. Why would you do that? That makes no sense. That's disrespectful within itself.
Exactly.
Like you said, Fort Bragg ain't did nothing to me. That's what everybody remembers from. That's what everybody's gonna remember. Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty. I mean, whose idea was this? Who's sitting in there playing devil's advocates like this ain't a good idea? Or why would you want to do this? The people are gonna think this, or the people are gonna think that. You just go ahead. Oh, this sounds like a good idea to me, man. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But that's what to me. It's a hypocrite game.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a game of hypocrisy because like what's going on now is that when it comes down to respect is just now a method of like a control. It's no longer anything. It's like you want respect, but you don't want to give it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say it when you want to say it, but you don't. Then you want to complain about it when somebody else says about it. You can't have it both ways.
No.
And that's what's going on now in today's society is that everything now is just like me when like and this is one of the things now is I don't look up to anybody when it comes to like a role model because role models are to me role models and pathfinders are two different things. Someone who shows me a path on how to be successful or show me a way to do things better, I have more respect for them for someone who makes it and then they turn out to be the most worstest idol like role model out there because I look at a lot of people like nowadays. Let's say, like I said, I know we were talking about Will Smith earlier. Will Smith was one of the most respected rappers because he never cursed in any of his songs.
And still
look at where he's at now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like now, it's kind of like one of those things to where that just because he was disrespectful, he's lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, at what level do we like? Okay, but all these rappers out here are saying the N word in every single one of their songs, but yet they're still making money. They're still growing. They're still doing things. And so, to me, what and like I said, the slap thing, like you were saying earlier, that's been way blown out of proportion compared
Mhm.
to what we see was going on. You got all these people out here making money by cursing in songs, by showing their body, and so now they're setting the standard of what success looks like.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out here and you cuss somebody out, that's a path to success. If you dress like you work the streets, that's a path to success. That to
Um,
me, that is the path of disrespect across the board. Just like, so I remember we had this debate one time. If a person wears inappropriate clothing, should you still
Mm-hmm.
respect them?
Mm-hmm.
Should you treat them any other different way if they come out and they have no clothes, dress halfway? And it was amazing of some of what people were saying. Some people say, "Oh yeah, you should be disrespectful because of the way they dress." But okay, but why would you be disrespectful if I mean, and I think that's one of the things that people have to understand is that like if someone wants to be comfortable and that's what they feel comfortable dressing in, then that's one thing. But a lot of people will say, okay, well they're dressing this way, so they don't want respect, and that's a debate that went back and forth to where what does respect look like?
it makes them, like you alluded to earlier, it makes them hypocrites
Right.
because it's good for him to say disrespect, but if it's somebody in your family,
Mm-hmm.
you ready to fight.
Because
Right.
I
You ready to
remember back
fight.
in the days when like if you went to church and if the young ladies didn't wear skirts or dresses and the men didn't wear suits, that was disrespectful to the church. Y'all remember those little crazy
Yeah.
things?
hmm
So it's like now, look at the church now. You could come in with the same outfit you had on at the club and still be okay to go into church. Is that disrespectful? Now it's like things have changed, like times have changed now, where the word respect doesn't even have a meaning anymore.
No, it
Mm-mm.
don't. And it's see, people think you just supposed to teach. No, no. Teach is like love. Teaching is just an action word. Okay, you gotta say it and then you gotta reinforce it. So don't just say respect your elders and then skip town. No, respect your elders and make sure that they see you respecting your elders and that they also respect. Because if they see you do it, then they're gonna do it. Because you can't. I pulled a young man to the side. I said, "Why are you calling her out her name? Because that's how she's acting." I said, "Well, how is she acting?" He said, "You being funny." I said, "Do you see me laughing?" I said, "Look, the problem with people is," and I told him, I said, "The problem with people is you want to see things one way. You can't have tunnel vision. You got to have 360 view. You can't have tunnel vision because when you get that tunnel vision, it's this way and that's that. Well, guess what? Conversation goes both ways. If I call you out a name, Mario, can't you call me the same name?
It seems like, hey, I said to me, it's like you open that door, so hey, it can be
So,
done.
and
I
then
mean,
what do
now,
you
will
get?
I do it? Probably not, but it's like that's one of those things to where it is your upbringing. Like me, it's like it's a matter of being respectful.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the things that I have to like. Even when I have customers that are like when I have customers that are older than me, I'm extremely respectful up to a point. And then once you break that, when you disrespect me, then that's a whole different ball game.
yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that people have to understand is like I will give you respect until you disrespect me.
That's
And
right.
when you disrespect me now, some people would go the other way around to where you have to earn it. I get that. You're going to me, you're going to get it until you no longer deserve it. So that's one of those things that where we have to understand that like for example, you go through a drive-through, okay? You go through a drive-through, your person come on, and if they're rushing you to the order, so forth. Again, there's two ways you can handle that situation. It is like by them, the way they're acting and their attitude that they might have is disrespectful as far as I'm the customer. But if I am the customer and I'm being disrespectful,
Right.
then they have to hold their tongue or they get fired.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's one of those things to where the boundary of respect, it should be given before it's taken.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm like, what I feel is persuasive.
Right.
It respect is not a standard anymore. It's persuasive.
Right.
It depends on, and people have agendas. So it depends on what that person's agenda is. I think respect has just, like I said, boiled down to my own. It's no standard anymore.
Right.
So we don't have a universal standard. Like we used to have a rule book of, so I thought.
Right. Right.
It was like, you
Right.
know, this is like you said about a woman dressing provocatively a certain way. There was a certain level of respect
Disrespect.
you wanted to have as a woman, so you wouldn't dress that way unless that was your job,
Right.
you know, or your profession, however you want to look at it. Because, you know, now they glorify strippers.
Right.
You know, we strippers are held at a higher caliber, you know, and more women walking around in onesies and in twosies and tutus. And I mean, I've just never seen anything like it. And I mean, even down to Ivy Park that Beyonce has with Adidas, they were just saying the sales were down about a month ago. And then now she shows up this week with her butt cheeks out, with her Ivy Park stuff on.
Right.
So, I mean, I think again, respect is being used persuasively and not as a standard.
Right. And
Well-
just like you just hit it right in the nose, in the music industry is where it's extremely bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if you go out and disrespect yourself, you get paid for it.
Yeah,
That's the part that doesn't make sense. Is as long as you go out here and be disrespectful to yourself, you get
then
paid
it's
money.
okay.
Because
But
I look at you.
if somebody called Beyonce a HO or dirty slut or something for wearing that, then all of a sudden that person is the disrespectful person.
Right.
But I didn't have it on. She got it on.
Right.
But it's, I mean, that's why I say I'm listening to all things that we're saying, and I didn't see it tonight until we're talking about it. It's persuasive.
Right.
It's no standard. We don't have a playbook anymore of what respect is.
Mm-hmm.
Just like remember when Cardi B, when I can't remember what award it was, when Cardi B came in and she performed, and they made a big deal about Cardi B performing on public TV, and because it was a public show and it should have been on cable. And to me, it's like, okay, before Cardi B, there was other artists that were out here doing this stuff, and y'all didn't do anything to stop it. So now it's a norm, and once it becomes a norm, it gets worse. So like now you look at like everything we do in society, like now that's why like a lot of old school DJs, we don't care too much for the new music because it's straight up garbage.
Yes.
I mean, it has no meaning to it. It's like
Nope.
back in the days, and this is, I will say this, back in the days, old school hip hop, when they did curse, it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it actually made sense. You listen to some of this music now, they're just throwing out cuss words. It doesn't even make sense of what they're cussing about. They just cussing.
And the problem is they just want their 15 minutes, and they want the song to be played on the radio station. That's all they want. They don't care about legacy. They don't care about nothing. They just care about DJ Mario playing their song on repeat on the radio. That's all that matters. So the quality of music is just
It's garbage.
man, it's some of the stuff. I mean, I used to think that my vocabulary was outstanding to that radio. If some of them songs just hurt my feelings, like what he say, what he mean, what that mean, and it's sad to know what they mean. You gotta ask one of them kids.
Yeah, because
What he talking about? He talking about this. Why don't he just say that?
Because it's persuasive.
Right.
It's not meant for us to be able to interpret it.
right.
And with the respect rule book.
I done learned a new way to describe it from us just simply having this conversation, and I'm very grateful for it because it's persuasive. So now they're persuading the young kids to believe that this is the norm. That's why you have children now. You ask them what do they want to be, and they say they want to be an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
So respect has been taken from what we consider to be respectful jobs and given to jobs that are all about persuading other people.
Right. Absolutely. Because I look at you take like to give you another example. You take I think her name is Chloe. When she first came into the music business, she was singing gospel music. I mean, music
Oh,
was
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when she first came in, she was one of the newest like good up to date current Christian music singers. And then she went from Christian music into wearing no clothes and singing. And the thing is, she has a beautiful talent, but keep your clothes on. And see, to me, that's why I lose a lot of respect for a lot of people in the music business, because the stuff that they do doesn't go along with the music. You sing a great song, but then you're out here butt naked almost to sing that song. And I think that's the part that's disconnected. Because like as a video DJ, a lot of the videos I can't play the videos because the videos are, even though it might be a clean song, the videos are extremely off the chain. So that sense of disrespect is like there's no respect on your appearance. There's no respect on what you wear. There's no experience of what you say. I mean, there's no respect at all anymore. It's all about making money. So right now, respect has a dollar sign on it, where before it never had a dollar sign. Respect has it's you can buy respect now.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
You can buy
because it's persuasive.
Right.
That's right. That's right. and
Take the thoughts on that one, huh?
Look, that's the new, because it's persuasive.
Mm-hmm.
You can, anything that you can buy is persuasive. And
then,
so that's mind-boggling when you sit back and really let that sink in. Something that serious should not be up for sale. My respect for you or Eric, Mario, is not up for sale. Somebody can't come and tell me, well, go disrespect Eric at this cost.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this is how twice we are removed as far as respect. It's just like I said earlier, it's like we're in the wild west of respect.
And what you alluded to earlier about what happened to the respect rule book, it left with the community. The community took it. Right. That's what happened to it. The community took it because the truth, respect and the truth are gone now. You got these kids want to be influencers, and they see Mario with 12 million followers, but they don't see what it went into it. Mm-hmm. They don't want to get what went into him getting to where he is. And what Mario don't know himself, them 12 million followers will turn on him like a school of sharks.
Right. Absolutely.
In a heartbeat. As soon as you do something that they don't agree with, all of a sudden you cancel. You go from 12 million to zero. And now all this sponsorship is gone. All this, you need to understand, if you take the role of being an influencer, that's what you're going to have to do. Influence. Be persuasive at all times. They don't care whether you get some sleep or not. They want to see what you're doing. You want to sit on the toilet. They want to see that. What toilet paper you using? What brand? What house you living in? What neighborhood? This, that, that. It's just not worth it. There are no more quote unquote hard workers anymore. With technology and the way it is, and you buying respect, nobody wants to work or earn anything. Mm-hmm. Some lady was on, before I got here, some lady was on TikTok going off. She calling out businesses. She said, hey, look, everybody that want to work, stop making us do 2 and 3 interviews on separate times. Like she did an interview. She said she did an interview for 3 weeks, something like that. And she was like, it's a job she really wanted to do, but they like, you got to do this interview. So she did the interview for an hour. They said, okay, we got you, but you got to do this interview. And then so you got this interview. So she was like, well, where's the respect? Why I got to do so many interviews?
Respect for her time.
Yes. Why I got to do so many interviews if this is a recruiter, and this is my resume, and it says recruiting. Why I gotta do 2 or 3 interviews? Why can't I just do 1 interview, and you, the one that does the hiring and the firing, sit down there and let me know? Stop. Have respect for my time.
Well, you know what? And see to me that's sad because
Mm-hmm.
the process has always been you want to weed out the bad ones before you get them in your shop. And I think that's the problem behind the old system versus the new system. The old system worked.
Yes.
And there's certain things about the old system that I might disagree with, and that's more so the discrimination portion of it. But the old system worked. Like now, people don't want to put in the effort or
Mm-mm.
the time to get hired. Now I get it. Okay, you're gonna complain about your time, but guess what? It's like if you get you in that door and they get you that job, then because like I said, you have, let's say it's 1,000 people are going in to get that job,
Mm-hmm.
then you got to weed out which ones are going to be the ones that are going to be your hard charger, which ones are going to put forth the effort to go that extra that extra minute, that extra moment to do the job. See, like now you can't just accept somebody because
Word.
you can't accept someone's word because no one's word mean anything no more. You got to actually do
Back to the respect.
you got to go back to do a hardcore background check because
Yeah.
now everybody seems to have some type of criminal back activity going on with them. So you can't just hire somebody.
What?
Just
But Mario, being in that business, all them interviews are not going to get you what you need. You just hit the key word. You need to go ahead on and go skip straight to the background check.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's going to tell you everything because, like you said, most people cannot even pass a basic background check nowadays.
Mhm.
So
And that's where don't waste. And then that's where if that's wasting time because if you do the background check, you're gonna disqualify a lot of people. So then you're gonna automatically know who to look at.
and
who
you
to
ain't got to ring the people through the ringer. One good, decent, two interviews at the most. You do the one where you do your pre-screening, and
That's
then
right.
if you get pre-screened, you go ahead on with your managers or whoever, and you make a decision because it's a job now to find a job.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It
see
is.
now,
So,
It
I
is.
get what people are saying about the time and the stress that you go through because it's a lot of preparation to go through that as well. Like I said, the disrespect is not just in one area.
it's a
We've got it. It's across the board now.
Yeah.
We could probably sit here and talk about this one forever because it just digs into school, it digs into
Society.
work, just society, life,
society as a whole. Yeah.
relationships.
Background check.
Look, relationships.
Well, if they did the background check properly, it used to be my field. If they did the background check properly, we wouldn't have the problems that we have. Because see, here's the thing: you have what you call local, which is just a scan locally of anything, and maybe you haven't done anything locally, so it's not going to be on file. But there are certain jobs or certain things that should require a national background check, and they're not doing it. Like, I don't know, guns, and that will fix it. Well, see, if you're only doing a local for a gun and he hasn't done anything where he is now locally, then you're not gonna see
What he did
that
before.
he's got a propensity for violence.
Right.
But if you did that national background check, then you will see that and say, "Oh no, sir, we can't approve for you."
So stop spending the man hours dragging people through unnecessary changes and spend the money on what it would take to just eliminate and determine if that person is a good
But
fit or not.
it's not that. It's not that much more. It's not.
It's not.
The thing that happened to me is they called me out for something. It was what? At the time when I had to do the post interview, it was like 6 years ago. You know, and I just lost. I went off in there. I said, so wait a minute, 2006. I said, wait a minute, 2000. It was 2006. I said, yeah, I had retired from the military. It's like, yeah, but you said this, and I said, yeah, people say a lot of things. So where is this going? Well, you said this, and this is why it was held up. I said, first of all, how do you know what I said to my psychologist 6 years ago.
Disrespectful, no privacy either.
So he's like, oh well. But I said, but do you do that for everybody? I said, well, what happened to HIPAA and privacy and patient-client privacy? Oh well, I said, I'm not gonna harm anybody. I haven't harmed anybody, so therefore my record should have stayed sealed. So once again, why am I here talking to you who are not a doctor and who don't control whether I get my concealed or not? Man, that joker signed off on that joker so quick. Have a nice day. I said, yeah, you know you was wrong for that. So if you do now, I wouldn't mind if you did that for everybody, but they don't. They don't. They do randoms, which is the dumbest thing ever. If you're gonna hold a weapon, something that can kill another human being, don't you think the background checks should all be national?
Well, let's get real with it. In Georgia, you don't even have to have a concealed license to carry.
No, you don't.
Everybody can just walk around like
everybody, yeah, and that's dumb.
How disrespectful is that?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Again, no disrespect to human life.
Persuasive.
No respect for human life.
Well, that law was put in place persuasively to get the governor back in office. So persuasive, respect, again, everything we've talked about, base names, Mario's DJ, everything is about being persuaded. Because if those people could have persuaded Mario into playing the cuss list and he wanted the money, then he could have been persuaded right on into that. There's no integrity, no respect, no nothing.
Well, see, my thing is where they messed up at is that they like when I said I'll do a little bit, they decided to no, we want you to do a lot more. And then that's like, okay, no, then the answer would have to be no, because you can't pay for my respect. You can't buy me. You can't buy me.
Are you gonna stand up for me when I get in trouble with somebody?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna stand up when the board of DJs say we get ready to kick you out and you ready to lose your license? You gonna stand up for me? If the answer is no, then if you sit silence means compliance. The answer is no, I'm not doing it.
So see, we used to be the other thing. It used to be when you give respect, you get respect.
Now
but it's not all. It's not.
It comes disrespect. You gotta let them know that you ain't that type of person, and then everybody wants to calm down. But cooler heads always prevail. So it will make sense for you to come in there giving respect because you're gonna get it back. And then see then that way, because I went to Subway and there was only one person in there, this lady. I told Sub about this. This lady, we went to get some subs. And she had her head down. I was like, you got your head down for? You need to be smiling. She said, why is that? I said, take a deep breath. I said, ain't you living? She just laughed. She said, oh, well, this lady just made me feel so bad. I said, what happened? She said, her and her friend, and it was a line out the door. And I'm trying to get an order. She said she was telling me I'm slow and this and that, and then her friend is cheering her on. You know, she said, I told her, I said, you had a right to defend yourself. You know what she said? She said, I didn't know. I said, man, let me tell you something. It's called respect. I told her, I said, it's called respect. Okay, the customer, I don't know who came out with that customer is always right mess. That's not true. If you are giving respect, then you should get it back. Mm-hmm. And if you're not getting it back, why should you have to sit there and take all them cuss words and this, that, and the third? Ma'am, respectfully, please don't talk to me like that. Ma'am, respectfully, please don't talk to me like that. I refuse to serve you. Well, let me talk to your manager. Good, I want to talk to him too. You don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. And then on the flip side, you don't have to take nobody trying to talk to you any kind of way. Well, you don't know how long your AC been down. That's why I'm calling you, because it's broken.
Right. Just disrespectful, thinking that you don't know what you're talking about and your own air conditioner's broke.
And I think that's one of the biggest pieces across the board is that we are now promoting disrespect.
Yeah.
We're now promoting, like right now, like a perfect example is you have people getting killed, getting hurt, being disrespectful to police officers. If you actually go back and look at some of the stuff that they're putting on social media, and all the police officer is doing is asking for something simple. I get it. Okay, like, he's violating your right. Okay, but you can't win if you're dead. You can't win. I mean,
Yeah.
overall, you later on down the road, your family might get $1 million or whatever, but it was it really worth it? And I
Mm.
think that's the part that blows my mind is a police officer. I was watching something earlier today. I think it was there this morning. Police officer comes up to the car and asks the man to turn the car off. He looks up at her like he's crazy, like she's crazy, and then he decides to roll the window. You okay?
Oh my
Right
God.
there, you could have got shot. Now it would have been right or wrong. It would have been wrong. But when you start doing stuff to make you suspect, then you like first thing coming in my mind. And I'm telling these people is like when we're in the military and we go on the combat zone. If anything is going to endanger our lives, yeah, there's rules of engagement. But the first thing you do is you're going to protect yourself one way or the other. So as a police officer comes up and they ask you something simple, it's not. And I mean, I get it. Sometimes the police officer can be very disrespectful, but the focus point is you got to be able to tell the story. So sometimes you got to be the humble person, tell the story, and then go back and report it. You can't win on the street, and that's the problem that these people are just showing. Be disrespectful to the police officer. Disrespecting police officer might get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
And
have
it's
to
really
understand
worth
too. You gotta understand too that they are human. They go through stuff. They have bad days. You will be surprised at how much a joke can make somebody's day.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised.
Even a little dry one. Look.
It- I mean, dude just paused and he just busted out laughing. I thought the dude was going crazy. I was getting ready to call somebody, man. I got a cop out here. He laughing. I think he dying and stuff. He said, man, I was thank you so much. I was having a bad day. I needed that joke. It was dry as hell, but I really needed that. So you know why I pulled you over? And see, this right here will blow your mind too. It's called the truth. Hey, you know why I pulled you over? Yeah, I was speeding. So he paused and he just stood there. He was like, wait, what was that? I said, yeah, I was speeding.
Mm-hmm.
He was, he didn't know what to do. He had no idea. He was just like, oh yeah, driving
Oh, after you told the
registration.
joke, he got so discombobulated, he forgot what he pulled you
He's
over.
like, wait, you told me. I said, yeah, I was. You ain't gonna pull me up because you want to say hi to me. You could have followed me to the store or something. I mean, yeah, I was speeding. Man, shoot, that joker checked my stuff. I was going 80 in the 55. That joker gave me a warning.
But
Drive
you
safe.
showed him respect.
Right.
Yes.
It's just a matter of
I'm like
respect.
Mario. You get pulled over, give what you're asked to give. All that talking they be doing and
Right.
arguing, I don't understand that.
It's not necessary. I mean, that's what's like. It's like, and then and then of course they're teaching this because now you see it constantly on social media. Oh well, and then they brag about it when they get away with whatever it is. See, if I be disrespectful, I can get away with it. I mean, that's what they're teaching, and I think that's what it's like. I mean, that's not the lessons I was brought up on. That's not how I was brought up, and I think that's one of those things to where you give people respect until they don't deserve it, and then
That's right.
once they cross that line, then that's when you have to regroup and say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to give you any more respect because you just disrespect me.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
different
when,
story. Where if you just come right out the game disrespecting somebody, then it's crazy. Just like
then that's when you gotta fall away from them. Don't deal with them no more. Okay, I handle this right here. No, I don't need that negative energy. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. You have to. I said it earlier. You have to hang around like people. I
Mm-hmm.
love my circle. I will do anything for them. I know right now if I call you, Mario, or you gonna tell me, man, that's stupid. I wouldn't do that. It's not worth the consequences aren't worth it. I don't want nobody to say, yeah, go ahead and do it, dude. No, that ain't the person for me. That ain't no friend right there. A friend is gonna tell you, hey boy, that's stupid. Why would you do that? If it costs you, if it's gonna take $300 to drive to South Carolina, you only got 150. Why you gonna start driving? That's dumb, bro.
Right.
That's
Right.
dumb. Don't do it. Have respect for me and for yourself for beginning to be able to know that you can tell me the truth. I want the truth. Tell me if I'm wrong. That's why I'm asking. I'm not asking you to agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
We need to bring that community back, and maybe they'll bring the respect rule book back.
Maybe. I agree. Well, this has been another great discussion, you
Yeah.
guys. We
Yes, it
didn't
has.
came.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this is a broad one, but it's a lot to cover, but it's a lot that makes sense too. So this has been a good one.
Yes, it has.
I mean, and that's what I said. To me, it bothers me because the world is changing so bad because the meaning respect has lost its meaning. It's no longer, like you said, it's more so used as a tool to get either make money or to take money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer, it's not as effective as it used to be. So to me, that's one of those things to where, again, here it is. And these are things that have an impact on our society.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
people's lives, like for example, you take another one. What's that? What road rage?
Mm-hmm.
Respecting people while they're driving. It's like take your butt if you're driving 40 miles per hour, put your butt in the slow lane. To me, if you're not speeding, if you're not driving fast, you need to stay out of the fast lane. But you got some of these people, they just want to sit there because they know it's going to piss somebody off.
Yeah. Yeah. I just went through my what was it? A couple of days ago. Somebody.
Marcella got on.
Yeah.
Oh, she sure did.
Yeah. Hey, Sal. See you next week.
He was not moving, and he knew it was gonna piss somebody off. So then you got the people in the slow lane being caught up because they doing what they supposed to do. You got this idiot in the fast lane, so now we got to go from the left lane to the right lane and get back in the left, and he was not moving.
But that's what
like, why, bro? I don't know. I don't know why he looking at me. I don't know why he did it. And we're just sitting there, just driving proud, like this is. I mean, it's. We
and
can
that's
talk
it.
about this
You see it
all
more
night.
now. You see it more now. Back when we were younger, if you saw someone coming up behind you and you was in the fast lane, you easily just move over.
That's right.
These people these days, they just want to test people, and they just want to piss people off. So they just sit there and they ride that lane on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
do it on purpose. But then when you turn around and pay the favor back, oh, now it's gonna be road rage.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's why I say it's like now it's like the world is no longer there isn't. I mean, like I said, the word respect does not have it doesn't have the same meaning it did 20 years ago.
Mm-mm.
And
But I think we came to the right conclusion. Change community back. So accountability.
Right.
There's so much of a lack of accountability, and
Double
stop being
standards.
easily. Yep. Stop for us to stop being easily persuaded.
Right. To me, you can't be, and that's so you can't have it both ways. Being
no.
a hypocrite, double standards, you can't do it both ways. You
Yep.
can't say, "Oh, well, the police were coming after me," but yet at the same time, you're the stuff that you're doing wants the police to come after you. It's like that those are like it's like you can't say, "Oh, he's being racist," but yet you use the N word 50,000 times a day. It's like those are things that like the society is just all messed up these days
Mm-hmm.
where it doesn't make any sense anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why most of the time I just have my own standard, my own rules, and I maintain
Right.
rules and keep it going.
I
Yep.
respect myself first.
Like in our very first first or second call, boundaries. Yep. Or
Mhm. I respect
so
myself first, and then I go to it from there. It's like I always tell people: if you want to know about respect, listen to Michael Jackson, "Man in the Mirror."
mm-hmm.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no lesson is meant to be any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. You don't get any clearer
Listen,
than that.
I used that years ago when I was a manager at a bank. I was having so much turmoil and conflict inside the bank. I went to the dollar store and brought every employee a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Start off the meeting, listen to Michael Jackson, and I told them to hold those mirrors up to their face while that song played, because everybody in there had a problem with somebody and this, that, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Start with yourself. Until you're happy with yourself, content and respectful towards yourself, then you wouldn't allow the disrespect.
Right.
And you would, like Mario say, you'll set a standard of this is not how you're gonna,
Mm-hmm.
come into my business and tell me I'm gonna play cursing songs. They would have to come at you a different way. But I sure did. I had every one of them put a mirror in their face and listen to that song while with that mirror held up to their face. And I let them take that mirror home. And I told them anytime that they decide they want to point blame or talk bad about somebody else, put that mirror up first. Look,
Absolutely.
make
That's right. I
Because
look
a
at
lot
myself
of times
in
what
there.
we don't like about somebody else is something that either we've been delivered from or struggling in within ourselves.
Right.
I ask myself every night before I go to bed, I look in the mirror and I say, have I done everything the way I was supposed to? Have I hurt anybody's feelings? Have I apologized to if they told me that I've hurt their feelings? You have to do that, man. You have to take accountability of yourself at all times. And it starts with self-respect. If if you don't respect yourself, there is no way you can respect somebody else. It's the
Right.
same.
Absolutely.
If you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. So we need to bring the community back.
But you know what, Eric? I think the biggest thing, though, you just said it, is that like that self love and that happiness.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't have that self love. A lot of people don't
No, they
have
don't.
they don't have self respect. Better yet, any.
No, they don't, and it shows. See, you don't kick a person while they're down. Show some respect, even for life itself, and just say, "Hey, why are you so down?" Like Tika said earlier, start with start with a little dry joke. It's a little dry humor. Tell a dumb joke. Say something. Make them feel you. You'll be surprised at how they will change. Don't go off of how somebody look. Oh, this look mean. I won't talk to her. She didn't even think about you. She just got something going on in there. Say good morning,
Mhm.
and then boom, you can make her day. Don't be afraid. I'm not a people person, but I will look at your face and I will speak. Hey, good morning. How you doing? And the smile, it kind of makes you feel good when that little frown turn upside down. It's like, hey, good morning. How you doing? Thank you. I needed that. Instead of saying, I don't like the way Mario looking. I'm not gonna say nothing to him. Well, you need to say something to him. Maybe you can save his life.
Nowadays, I think people are just
Respect
more caught up
life.
in the. People are nowadays are so selfish and they're only
Yes,
thinking about themselves to where they're not thinking about, like me. I'm very kind when I go through the drive-through.
yes,
Say thank you. I say hello, how you
yes.
doing? It's like by me. I remember one time I said that, and they gave me free stuff. I wasn't expecting it. I want. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not telling the people to do it, but I went through, and then she says, "You know what? You are the kindest person today that
That's
I've
right.
had all day. So you here. Here's a whole meal, and she gave it to me for free. So those are things that
You know me. Yeah.
um,
So
it's
so
just
we
one.
we could, we could talk about this all night,
Yeah, we
man.
can. Yeah,
Because you even have to be respectful when it comes to communication. Make sure you listen and respond, and not just listen. Make sure you listen to them,
right. There's a
not
two.
just respond to them. Make sure you
Right.
listen, and so that may if you listen first, then your response will be respectful. But if you just hearing somebody talk and you responding, that ain't listening. That's being disrespectful. And you wonder why they act the way they acting with towards you the way they are. No, listen, let them say their piece, and then you say yours. You'd be surprised at how much of a miscommunication that was, and it wasn't nothing serious. Instead of being a typewriter gangster going on social media and just elevating it to a level that should have never gone to. It makes no sense the way people, families, friends, everybody take it to social media. If you ain't want me at your stinking party, you should have said something. What? Girl, did you see what she had on? What?
Petty. That's like people petty being
And
there.
then these people need to understand that once it goes up there, just say the cloud or social media, they ain't gonna take it back. If you selling food stamp, inbox me, bruh. What is you doing? What is, what is,
Wow.
stop, man, stop.
I'm gonna roll on off, you guys.
Yeah.
This was another great topic.
Yep.
Yes, it was. I'm about to get going too because I
Yeah,
got
Yeah.
thank you.
I got another
Gotta
meeting
take
here in a
care of
few
my
minutes.
better half. I've been up here for too long.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, look,
Bye, y'all.
like I said, we'll see everybody next week.
Next
This
week.
was a great topic. And look, I'm gonna say this to everybody out there: show respect. Like so, you'd be surprised when you respect somebody. You'd be surprised on how it may change somebody's day. But y'all be safe. Y'all be careful, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Uh-oh.